Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
So whenever we talk about any web application, either it could be a software or it could be a website, there will be a lot of things involved behind the scenes. Suppose whenever you are considering a web application, it needs UI, right? User interface. So where user will be interacting with the end users. So suppose if you take any website like Gmail or Zoom, anything, it will have some UI, right? Where user will respond, user will act on some buttons, user will do some actions in the UI. So that we will call it as a UI. So for every web application or software, we will have the UI and we will have the server. So server basically to store the data. So whenever you are doing some operation, that should be stored somewhere, right? Even though it is a cloud, that will be saved somewhere in the cloud servers. So whenever you save like that, so whenever you log in next time, it will pull the required data. Suppose whenever you open email, the email basically will be stored in the Outlook or Gmail servers. Whenever you logged in, the entire inbox will be loaded as a UI. Okay, like that, every time UI will be interacting with the user. So it will be placing role. Either it could be showing the data or reading that, showing the data again, inserting the data like that. Okay. So from where it will pull the data, it will pull the data from servers. So server basically means for storing the your information or storing the data. Okay. So next coming to the third thing. So whenever we are dealing with software, it has to host somewhere. Right? Hosting means, see, everyone wants to access everything from anywhere. Like if you have a Gmail, you want to open it from your laptop, you want to open it from your office desktop, and you want to open it from your mobile. So what does it mean? It should be able to support, like it should be able to log in from anywhere. So nowadays everything is like cloud hosted. So hosting means the basically it will be running in the some sort of firmware. So that is called hosting. So for hosting, basically it will like where application runs. Okay. And the next part is security. So whenever you are dealing with, you have to consider, right? Because it should be security proof. Like no one, it should be hack proof. No one should able to access without your consent. No one should able without your permission like that. So we have to consider about security, right? So to create any web application, to create any software, these are the four standard basic needs for it. Okay, one is UI, the next one is servers, and then hosting and the security. So these are the four primary things, right? So now this is about software. Now let's move to what is software as service. Okay, now if you see, if you do all these things on your own, that will be like a your own application. You will have the complete control on the UI, you will have complete control on the servers, you will complete control on the hosting where you want to host. Either it could be Azure cloud or it could be Amazon cloud, like that. Okay. And security also, you will be control, have complete control. If you want to have a single password, login password, or if you want to have a multi-factor authentication, or you need a OTP, like that. If you create a your own application, you will have complete control on it. But whenever we go with software as service, so first understand what is mean by software as service. So if you closely understand the term, understand this word software as service, so they are giving software as a service. So means they are providing their software as a product they are giving. So what, so if you see the example, Gmail, if you see, so whenever you take Gmail, who will be working on the Gmail? So Gmail will be developing the all the capabilities. It will have the UI, it will have the servers, it will have the hosting, it will have the security. But you are utilizing it. So you are creating your account, you are utilizing it. So similarly, whenever you take Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Outlook, every company will be use that, right? But if you see, for every login, they will have their own login at the rate their own company. So what does that mean? These are the software as service. So the primarily the vendors like Microsoft or Google, they will be they will be selling their product as a service. So where users will be could be like individual or companies. Any questions here?
No, knowledge.
So like this, for any application we are using as a software service, all things will be provided by them. So if you consider the difference between in normal custom application and software as service, so what we can say, custom application will have complete control, right? So complete control on all the features, like you have to maintain all those. Instead we can say UI, you have to take care, servers you have to take care, hosting you have to take care, security, like that. Okay. But whereas coming to the SaaS, so that this is will be driven by the vendors like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, whatever. So they will be maintaining all these UI. They will be deciding on which server they want to store your data, and they will be deciding where it has to hosting, and they will be deciding on the security. So you will simply use it as a product, the end user. So you don't worry about all these four things. You will be using them ready to use as a product. Okay. So whatever we are going to learn, right? Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Those are the software as service from the Microsoft. So what they will do with software as service, we can say simply. So they are giving some product where they are maintaining the UI, where they are maintaining the servers, they are only maintaining the hosting things, they are only security. So what we will use, we will be using the process, business process from the product. Okay. So what will be the business process? So let's deep dive into CRM. So basically, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. Okay. So in this, you can say it is a software or you can say application. In this application, what it will do, it will deal the process related to the customer. Suppose whenever you want to buy a product, what you will do, you have to look for it, right? You have to order it from somewhere. So first you will get the code, then you will buy it, then you will pay the amount, like that, right? So whenever you want to buy a product, this is the normal process. Suppose whenever you want to sell a product, what are the process we need to follow? We need to do the marketing. We need to get the leads who are interested to buy. Then we will give the code. We will buy. So for every CRM, whether it could be Microsoft CRM or it could be a Zoho CRM or it could be Salesforce CRM. Every CRM will follow the same structure, like mean process. For selling product, they will follow some steps. For for purchasing a product, we will be following same steps. So whatever the process we follow in the market, they will have it in their application in their software. Okay. So coming to Dynamics 365, it supports basically sales related stuff. It supports the service related, like whenever you have an issue with service, you will make a call to customer care, you will send an email to customer care, like that, right? So it will support the service related, and also it will support it to the marketing related, like that. Okay. So basically, CRM is a software as service product from Microsoft where it will support the CRM process. In the CRM process, we will have the different sections: sales section, service section, marketing, like that. Okay, we will have field service one more. So field service is about booking the agents, like we do in the, what do you call, urban clap. We will book the resource what we need, right? We will book the some AC, who repairs on AC. We will book the some who can install our cupboard, like that. So field services cut kind of. So basically, Dynamics C365 CRM or any C365 CRM, it will provide the process related to the that particular area. Okay. Now, as we are saying, software as Dynamics 365 is a software as service, right? Okay. So when we say software service, what we learn, it will have UI, it will have the server, it will have the hosting, it will have the security, right? So everything will be managed by Microsoft. Why Microsoft? Dynamics 365 is itself a Microsoft product. Okay. So when we say Microsoft will manage all these things, so they will have clear technology what they use in their application, and they will have servers. So where you want to store your data, okay, and again they will host this web application somewhere in the some area, okay, and next thing they will maintain the security. So at the end user, you don't need to worry about any of this, okay, but you can say, if everything managed by them, so how can I use it? How can I customize it for it? Our use case. Suppose you have some hospital, you want to use the Dynamics 365 CRM. Whenever a patient wants to book a appointment with doctor, you want to use field service. So how does the CRM software fits your business? So for that purpose, on top of this, they have given flexibility to customize the software, the CRM application. So even the UI is maintained by Microsoft, everything, they will have options to have customize it. So on default UI, you can customize it. Okay. You can customize the UI, like whatever you want to keep, you can keep it in the on the whatever you want to keep in the home page, whatever you want to keep in the view page, everything like that you will keep. Okay. And coming to the servers will be based used for data, right? So this will be like a standard. Those are the Azure SQLs. So this will be completely maintained by Microsoft. So you don't have any control it, because you don't do anything in the UI you need it, right? To based upon your business, you want to update it. So you will modify the UI. But servers, you want to store the data, right? So in the server side, entire every in the Microsoft CRM, it will be using Azure SQL, and those will be maintained by Microsoft. Okay. So in these servers also, whenever we say data will be, how data will be stored in the servers. Okay, right. So how, suppose if you want one name, you will have first name, you will have a last name, you will have email, you will have full name. So these things should be stored in some format, right? So like that, for every thing, how it will store, we need to understand. Okay. So that is data. Next, hosting. So as it is Microsoft, this will host in the Azure cloud. You can access it from anywhere, like another cloud application. Okay. And security. So when we come to security, Azure, we were using the Azure Vault authentication. That is also Microsoft only. So where it will use the login ID, password credentials plus MFA. So in technical terms, we can say it's a Vault authentication. Whenever you log in, a bearer token will be sent to server. It will authenticate yours login. Then it will allow you to log in. So far, any questions?
No, sir.
No.
Cool. So like this, basically, yeah. Who's? Go on. Hello. So go on. Who is asking questions? Okay. So this is Dynamics 365 CRM about SaaS, right? So coming to, so just now I have said whenever we say data, it has to store in some format, right? So Dynamics will be used to store data in the table format. So whenever you come to table means, how many of I have idea about SQL tables? Anyone has idea about it, tables? So how many of know about at least Excel sheets, Excels?
Yes, Harish. I have an idea on SQL.
Yeah. So whenever you take any SQL or normal SQL table or normal Excel sheet, what we will have? We will have the rows. We will have the columns, right? So in the rows, we will have the information about individual. What is the full name? What is the name? What is the last name? What is the email, like that? So when you go to the second person, it will repeat it. So if you, let me open on Excel so it will be easy. Now if you see here, I will be having my name. So I will have my experience. Then I will have my email. So coming to the other person, he will have his name, he will have his experience, then his email. So if you see, so like this, you can have a number of data in this A column, B column, right? So when we consider A column, these are like standard. Whenever you refer to A, it will save the name. Whenever you refer B column, it will refer the number of years experience. Whenever you refer C column, it will refer the email address of this. So these are basically columns which defines the what data it has to store. Like it has to store name. This has to store number of years of experience, and this has to store email. So if you see, the basically column will be defined what kind of data it has to store. It could be string, it could be number, it could be email format, like that. And coming to the rows, it will have the actual data. These are the like properties what we need to, we defined property what what we can store in that column. When you come to rows, here you will have the actual values for those columns, right? So like that. So whenever you coming to table, so this will be called as a columns. This will be called as a reads. So whatever we are having enter this information, right, this is now we are storing in a sheet one. So this entire sheet one we can say contact. If you say like this will be like a contact sheet, right, where you have the all information about contacts. So when you apply the same thing to
Hello,
table,
Harish.
yeah, yeah,
Couldn't she Excel sheet?
okay, okay, I got it. Sorry, what say? Do you see now? Let me repeat.
Yes.
So if you see, whenever I whenever I tell about contact here, in this contact sheet, I have the all information about name, years of experience, email in the columns. And if you see here, you have Harish, the experience, email. So the rows basically will store the values of the columns, right? So entire thing, whatever we have here, this information we have it in the contact. So when you apply same logic to the SQL, how it means contact will be act as a table. Okay. Within contact table, you will have a rows and columns. Okay. So basically rows mean for it will have the it will define the what values it can store. Okay. And coming to rows, it will be the actual records, right? Actual values. So coming to Dynamics 365, it will be using the SQL table kind of data. So whenever you save anything in the Dynamics 365 CRM, it will be saved as table format. So it will have a table name, it will have a column. Column means you will define what it can store. It will have a rows, the actual values. So whatever you whatever you work on Dynamics 365, it will be stored in this format. So it has to store somewhere in the server, right? Just now we have said it will be using Azure SQL. Those will be maintained as data. Those will be maintained by Microsoft. So when you come to Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM, so whatever you store the data, so that will be stored in the Dataverse. Okay, so Dataverse means the backend DB for Dynamics 365 CRM. So even though it is a backend DB, we can't say it's a simply DB. It's a enterprise data store. Okay. So in this Dataverse, you will have the everything about CRM. You will have the tables, what for what table, what data you have kept like that. So everything you will be having about data CRM data here. Any questions so far?
No,
Okay. Okay. Now, so this is about CRM. Did you understand what do you mean by CRM? What it will do at a high level?
yes.
Any question?
Yes, yes.
So basically, Dynamics 365 CRM means it will have some process in that application we will follow. It could be sales process, it could be service process, it could be marketing process. So when we say Dynamics 365 CRM, it will have UI server hosting everything, right? So UI will be like for every CRM application, there will be some default UI. If you want customize it, you can customize it. And for the server, we will be using the Dataverse thing where it will store the records in table format. In the table, you will have the columns and trays. Columns, basically, we will define what kind of data we can store. It could be either it is a string or number, email format, the type format of value. And the rows will be like actual values, how we will be used. So this is very high level about Dynamics 365 CRM. Now let's go to Power Platform because in the training itself, we just given the Dynamics 365 CRM and Power Platform. So earlier we used to have only CRM. In the last 5 6 years, Power Platform is merged to CRM. So what do you mean by Power Platform?
Sorry to stop you, Harish. Harish, good
Yeah,
evening.
yeah.
So
Hi,
where we
Kasim.
can see Dataverse in CRM, we can check in
So
Azure.
yeah, for every CRM, I said we will have a server, right? So in the server, we will have Dataverse. So in the UI, it will be called as a Dataverse. But if you log into your CRM instance from SQL Server Management Studio, you could see entire information about your that logged in org. I will
Okay,
show that in okay.
okay, okay. Sorry.
So basically, Dataverse is nothing but a Azure SQL.
Okay.
So for every CRM application, for every CRM org, we will have a Azure SQL. That only will act as a Dataverse in the Power Platform, like for user interface. So whenever you are connecting to Dataverse means indirectly you are connecting to the Azure SQL. From where it is pulling the data, actual data.
Uh,
Okay, I will
so
show that.
from we will connect to SSMS also, right?
Yes, we can connect. We can connect from SSMS.
Okay, okay.
So one thing from SSMS. So in the SSMS, what we will do, we will execute SQL queries. We will add some filters, everything, right? But we can't modify the data from Azure SQL because the server meant for maintain the data only. It won't allow you to edit in the cloud applications. If you want to have complete control, you can go to on-premise CRM, but nobody is using, because you have a good UI to make any changes. You have rich backend tools to update everything, right? So you can't directly update to this Azure Dataverse. So basically, we can say this will act as only read-only Azure SQL, where you can pull the data of CRM.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Any questions? Anyone?
This section is recording, right, Harish?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
recurring.
well, because I joined lately.
Yeah, that's right. So now coming to Power Platform. So when we say Power Platform, basically we can say it's a tool. So it's a tool. It's not a tool. It's a tools actually. So we will have multiple tools in it. Okay. So different tools will be useful for different purpose. So when you come to Power Platform, we will have majorly these. One is Power Apps. Okay. Next you will have Power Automate. Then you will have Power Pages. Then you will have Power BI. Then you will have, earlier we used to have Power Virtual Agent. Now that is Copilot Studio. Copilot Agents. Okay. Earlier we used to have Power Virtual Agents. Now we transform to Copilot Agents. So if you see, whenever I say tool means what we will do with the tool, we will make use of that tool and we will do something, right? Similarly, Power Platform is a consist of tools. First one is Power Apps. So whenever we say Power Apps, so basically this is needed for to build a apps. Apps means applications, right? So whenever you say you are building applications means you are controlling the UI, right? Applications. So you are building applications and you are controlling the UI. So basically, Power Apps is used for to control, to design the UI. Okay. So whenever you want to make any changes to the UI, you will be using this Power Apps tool. Okay. So in this Power Apps also, we will have two types. One is model driven apps. The next one is canvas apps. So in this model driven apps, those it will have a like a standard format. So that is the out of the box Dynamics Dynamics 365 app. The next one is Canvas app. So in the Canvas app, you will have a rich UI. Whatever you want, you can add like that. So we will go deeper about model driven apps and Canvas app in the next classes. But coming to Power Apps, why we will be using it for to design the UI. Okay. Then come to Power Automate. If you see the name is automate, to automate any process, we will be using Power Automate. Okay. So to, if suppose whenever you wake up in the morning, you want to send a email. Suppose for every we will have a org. In that org we will have a employee birthdays, right? So whenever employee's birthday, you have to send a birthday greeting. So to automate such kind of actions without any manual interaction, we will be using Power Automate. To automate any process, we will be using this. And next one is Power Pages. So this is similar to the Power Apps only, but the difference between Power Pages and Power Apps is like Power Apps can be logged in for only users. This can be logged into the external users as well, like whoever not part of the arc also they can use. Okay. We have another name, it calls portal as well for these Power Pages. So it's basically built for external users, so they can consume the data. Okay. Next is Power BI. So basically, you might know Power BI reports, right? Where it will show the all the information about some kind of we will be generating the reports. So where in the UI in the UI format, visualization format. So basically, reports will be the visualization of some data, right? Now, if you see whatever the tool you are using, these are like very generic, right? It can be related to CRM or it cannot be related to CRM. So that's how they evolved this tool. So these Power Platform tools can be used for Dynamics 365 CRM, or you can have it use it for your own requirement. Let me tell you how it helps. And the last one is Power Virtual Agents. However, if you see everywhere we are using agents, right? So for that also they have tool that is called Power Virtual Agents. Now it's a like Copilot agents. So basically, Copilot is like a bot. It will do some. What bot will do? It will respond automatically. It will give answers automatically like that, right? Some agent you can say. Okay. So now let's go back to the what how Power Platform helps Dataverse. Without Dataverse, how Power Platform works. Okay. So when I said Dynamics 365 CRM, we will have the UI. So to make any changes to the UI, we need some tool, right? So for that purpose, we will be using the Power Apps. So for this Power Apps, we will be having the make.powerapps.com. We will call that as a Power Apps portal or Maker portal. Okay. So whatever the UI related changes, whatever the design things you want to do, you will be doing with the Maker portal, make.powerapps.com. And for the CRM, if you want to send any automatic emails, or if you want to do any automate process, for that you will be using make.powerautomate.com. Okay, to automate the business. So like that, for everything you will have its own site. So suppose if you are using Dynamics 365 CRM means you have to use either of these tools to customize your application, customize your process, everything. But this Power Platform also supports without Dynamics 365 CRM. So what does that means? Whenever you use Dynamics 365 CRM, so by default you have to use Power Platform, Power Platform tools plus Dataverse. But whenever you say Power Platform only, Power Platform tool only, it may not be it's not necessary to use CRM. It can connect to direct SQL like that. It can connect to any SQL server, or it can connect to any SharePoint like that. You understand what you mean by when you learn about CRM, Power Platform will come default. But if you learn Power Platform, it's not necessary. No, it's not necessary to know. You should know CRM. Getting so whenever you say CRM, Power Platform will be subset, but CRM is not a subset of Power Platform. I think you guys are understanding. Any questions, Sanjay, Kasim, Sari Krishna?
No hurry. No hurry.
It's clear, right? So Power Platform basically is a subset for CRM. Means if you know CRM, you have to use all this, right? To customize the UI, you have to use Power Apps. To automate any process, you have to Power Automate. For the Power Pages, if you have portal, if you have external users, you will be using Power Pages, like that. But suppose few companies will be there, they will be using only Power Platform tools with their own DB. Like they don't use Dataverse. They will use their own SQL. They will use their own SharePoint site, like that. Okay, getting?
Yes, Harish.
So now coming to the most important thing. So now we see like everywhere we are seeing like AI is overtaking everything. AI is overtaking, like the development work is going on, is reducing. Even agents are only doing everything like that. We are seeing, right? Then how does learning Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM and Power Platform will help us? That is the basic thing we need to understand, because we are trying to switch into some new technology, means we should understand the scope of it, till how many years it will sustain, what will be our future, like that, right? So if you see, basically Microsoft Microsoft product is Dynamics 365 CRM is a Microsoft product, right? So if you see, whenever we are talking about AI, Microsoft already included AI wherever it's possible, and it is evolving like everything. Okay, so basically, why we will be using AI? To avoid the repeated manual work, to make it more efficient in the business process, like that, right? Now let me open some environment. You will understand. Now, if you see, this is my Power Apps. Make that Power Apps portal. Now, if you see, when I go to create here, if you see create from blank, you have create from like this. So whenever you click on create, it will ask the blank canvas. So once you landed here, if you see, let me switch to some environment. Okay, now if you see here, we have create from blank, like that, right? Now if you see, this is the Ask Copilot. So what is Copilot in AI? It's a Microsoft AI thing where it will have its own LLMs. It can use Claude, it can use ChatGPT, like that, right? So when you consider Microsoft Copilot, it is there in everywhere. It will be there in the Power Apps portal. It will be there in the Power Automate portal. It will be there in the CRM too. So everywhere they integrated the AI in this designing the application or in automating everywhere. Okay. So if you, as they are already including, so the work will be reduced, obviously the efficient. So if you create your application with Copilot, so every month they copy all filters like this, we will have a prompt. I want to, so here what you can do, you can create your own prompt. You can click on the generate. So either you can create manually from scratch. That is the old process what we are following. Okay. But if you go to home page, what here, create your automation with Copilot. So here you can give the prompt. So what we need to learn, whenever we are giving some prompt, Copilot will create the Power Automate flow. Copilot will create the Power Apps for you. But you should have a understand on the basic what you can control, what it won't work. You should have a knowledge on assessing the whatever AI is given, because it won't give 100% accurate every time, right? So to evaluate that, to assess that whatever the generated thing by AI, you should know the CRM, the basic core concepts. Okay. So in this entire 48 session, I don't tell on anything direct like manual activities. So everywhere, wherever we have possibility of AI thing, how to leverage AI, we will be using. Either it could be our Microsoft Copilot, or we can have ChatGPT. I think everyone has the, I think, official account, right? I mean, office accounts. So if we have office account, we can have this M365 Copilot as well. We can use that as well. Okay. So I will be teaching everything with respect to the AI. So that is one good thing we need to consider. Okay. So we can create manually. That also we should learn, because whenever we create any agent. So if you see here, create a Power Automate flow to send an email every day at 7 p.m. So when I click like this, so it will, so what it will do, create a Power Automate synonym. So if you see the Copilot agent is working, it will be creating the trigger and action automatically. It is, so you should know whether it is created properly. With so right now it is have a simple logic, simple thing, because it create sending an email every day 7 p.m. means it should trigger at 7 p.m. That's why we have recurrence trigger. To send an email, we should have a send an email. So how do you know, when do you know we should use recurrence, we should use send an email? If you have idea about the things, then only you can assess it, right? Whether whatever given by AI that is correct or not. So once you feel like this is correct, you will be keep it continue, and you will be generating. So if you see it is asking for some permissions like that, so you need to know the concept, and you should be able to use the AI, because everywhere if you see in the outside market also we are talking with respect to AI only, right? So we should also adapt it. So doing the regular work, doing manually, doing in a routine format, that won't help us anymore. Okay. So we will learn whatever we know with more effective way with AI. So that's the goal of our training. Okay. Any questions? Cool. Okay. So we will be having a number of opportunities with Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM Power Platform. You can be work as a consultant, you can be work as a developers, like that. Okay. So if you are no only with the functional related things, you can be the consultant, or you can be a business analyst where or you can be a scrum master who can run on the scrums. They will convert the client requirements to features, like that. Okay. Everything we will learn about. Okay. So this is all about today I want to cover. So before going to end, I want to show something. So for every day, once we are done with call, this is our 40 days sessions, right? So we will be covering introduction class for Dynamics 365 CRM and Power Platform, deep dive into Dynamics 365 apps and Power Platform core components, and introduction to customer service, admin center configuration, like this. Okay. Now, so this will be the 40 days course. So we will be having from scratch to like a good hands-on you will be getting. So everything we will be having JavaScript, we will be having C sharp, everything. So everywhere we will try to leverage the maximum AI to avoid to save time. Okay, but you will have an entire end-to-end knowledge you get. Okay, and coming to the if PDF, for every day I will be giving these three PDF plus the class recording and the Zoom notes. Okay. If you go to this learnings, so you will have whatever we discussed so far. So whatever we have discussed, right? For that kind of definitions you will have. Okay. To to make us, we need to ready for the interviews as well, right? To understand the more whatever we are listening, to applicable to apply that knowledge to interviews, we should have some professional terms we should use, right, to answer them. So we will be using this learning document for that purpose, for interview purpose, preparing that one. Okay. So it will have the same topic, whatever we discussed every day. So for every day, we will be having the learnings, and we will be having this IQ. So IQ basically stands for interview questions. So from this current day topic, what you will be getting, like, are you getting what kind of questions you may expect? In this also we will have like what called basic, medium, proficient, like that. You will have the sections. Just try to get them every day as part of your preparation, your hands-on only. Okay. And the next thing is hands-on. So even though you're learning, you should have a proper hands-on, right? Because You may have some experience already on some other technology, and now you want to switch to Dynamics 365. So whenever you crack the interview, they once you join a new company or a new team, they expect some expertise, right? So to show the expertise, we should have a proper hands-on. Without hands-on, you can easily know, they can easily know, like, you don't have, right, no experience. That might be like fake experience, like that. So for that one, for every topic, even it's a simple record creation, also you should have a hands-on. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Now, if you see in this hands-on, for the today's hands-on, I just given the how to create a trial account, everything. If you are able to create trial account, well and good. So you can use your own account. If you are not able to use your if you are not able to create trial account, just let me know. I already created a few accounts. I can share with you guys. So you can just practice it. Okay. So if you see, you have the URLs, what will be the URLs, everything. Okay. How to navigate everything. Everything this also I generated with agents only, AI only, nothing manual. But once I generated everything same like this, I will be reviewing what I need from what it generates. So that's the assess knowledge you should have it. Okay. It's not about simply using. So when you want to use something for you, you should know what you need, right? Exactly. Then only you can make efficiently use it. So that's why we need to learn Dynamics 365 CRM basics. Okay. So if you search any requirement to the Copilot, it will give a number of options. But you should know what can you pick, what will work out for the implementation. So that is the developer knowledge, developer mind works. Okay. Any questions?